Hi, everybody.
We're live.
Hi.
Tonight
I
we
promise
are
you
joined
we're live.
by Auntie Lena down under,
Bonjour.
and then my good friend Ona from Ona's Tarot. If you have not checked her out, please do so. She's fabulous. You guys will love her. And Jibs and Cannoli. So, does anybody have any announcements? Anything coming up that you would like to let?
I'm going to be on Andre's astrology,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
I'm doing a collab with Milu soon too. So I'll let people know. I can't remember the dates.
Okay,
The
I
brain
love
isn't what
Andre's
it used to
astrology.
be.
What Lena, what is his channel name? Because it used to be something astrology news, and now it's something else.
Andre's astrology will get you there.
Andre's
Astrology Alert is the name
Astrology
of his
Alert.
Yeah,
he's fabulous. If you guys have not yet subscribed, that's a channel I watch all the time. He's wonderful.
Yes, and he makes astrology pretty digestible.
Mm-hmm.
Although maybe not for Johnie.
Chicken scratchings and hieroglyphs. It's always.
I know. It's fun. It's fun.
I just want to mention for those that are booking readings with me through my website, if you book a Skype reading, well, if you book any reading, it'll get approved and confirmed within about 24 to 48 hours by me. If you book a Skype reading, once you get the confirmation email, please go into your Skype and see if you have an invitation to connect from me, and accept the invitation so I know that you're ready for the reading when your appointment comes up.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad someone else still uses Skype. Bless.
I don't like using Zoom. It hijacks my camera and then it messes up StreamYard and everything.
And because I've only got the cheap free Zoom, it times out if I'm doing a longer reading.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a tendency to go a little overtime, and it does.
Yeah.
It'll cut you off.
Mm-hmm. So
good to see you guys all here. Look at that. Lots of people.
For those of you that are joining, I do not have YouTube open. I'm solely in StreamYard, so I do not see all the comments. So if I don't see you, don't come after me. It's just the comments are delayed and they all don't show up. So there's that.
And okay, and Lucky Girl says, please check out Ona's tarot and send her love. And she puts the link.
Oh, thank you.
Ona does the what is it? Potty break?
Daily message, potty break predictions in the morning. And I have to get organized to do a better, more comprehensive video. I've just been really, really busy.
Mm-hmm.
They're lovely. They're a lot of fun, you guys. And Ona's a lot of fun. So go check her out. Any other announcements?
Well, last week, we were reading on Trump trying to build his cemetery. I just want to say, Stewie Rhodes is available to hire to dig graves. The little tunnel digger, one-eyed gopher man.
One-eyed gopher, Stewie. He'll shoot your eye out. So, are we ready to get going? Does anybody have
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Oh, there's Sylvia. Hi, Sylvia. And Peggy. Hello, Peggy. So I have a question, and we were just talking about this before I hit the live button. I'm sorry that I was late. We were discussing something because my brain was turning. Johnie just did a grand tableau on Trump.org. If you guys have not seen it, I'm sure you have, but if you have not, run over to Johnny's channel and check it out. I have done 3 grand tableaus on Trump, Ivanka, and Sniffy Jr. All of the grand tableaus show that the institution, they lose it. It just goes kaput, it dies. So we were discussing behind the scenes before we went live, if I am not a lawyer. I don't know. If Letitia James was to shut down Trump.org and all of its entities, could he open up another Trump.org under a different name in another state? That's because Johnny's Grand Tableau. Can you explain it, Johnie? I don't want to
Well,
mess up.
I just saw this was before you did yours, because I recorded mine in the end of January, and it showed him being separated from the head of Trump.org. And I'm like, how is he because he's not a person who steps down from anything.
Nope.
So how does he lose his position? And then your tableau came on and says corporation shut down. And I'm like, okay, that's probably how he loses control of it then. But
Yeah.
So I guess our question to the viewers out there, if anyone's snappy with a smartphone, can he legally reinvent himself in another state? Right.
Like a shell company,
Yeah.
a shell organization.
Yeah.
That's considering that if it's only Letitia James. I'm not counting the Manhattan DA going after him criminally. You know, but I mean, there's plenty of companies out there that close down for nefarious reasons and then just rename it and start somewhere else.
Oh yeah, yeah.
because my whole philosophy was, let's say in New York State, she shuts down Trump.org. Trump.org is a what? Is it a financial and real estate business or something? He can open up, that's not what I meant to say, but donut shop. Off my head, so I'll say it. He can open a donut shop in Texas and basically keep the same clientele, just doing some sort of other different, because it's all a channel anyway, but he could basically do that. And
unless there is a legal ban on it, and that's what we don't
federally speaking, because see, Letitia can't stop him from doing something in Texas,
Right.
but federally speaking, they can stop him from doing anything anyway. But she's not a federal AG.
Yeah. I think the problem for them generally is everything has always hinged on the Trump name. And so, you know, it's sort of hard to reinvent themselves as Yetis in paradise or something, you know.
Well, he's probably not going to have any money to reopen an organization because Deutsche Bank, if they call in the loan for the renovation he did on the DC hotel, which is leased from our government, the government has requested to break the lease, to shut him down because he's not represented himself truly according to his own accountants. If they call in that loan, plus he's got like over $500,000 or $500 million other loans still waiting. He can't even sell it. He can't even sell that lease off. He won't have any money to do anything with it. And then if they take his properties, he can't sell anything.
For those of you in the chat that are talking about the echo, we've been having that issue since before we went.
So let's do this. Before we even keep going and start reading it, because it's going to keep going. Let's all go out and then we'll all come back in. Becca, you stay in so you can let us all back in.
Okay.
Let's all of us leave studio, go to the email and click the link all over again.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, we'll be back in a minute. Get rid of the echo.
Sorry about that, guys. We've been having echo issues since before we went live, and we all messed with the settings. The echo feedback, we clicked it on and off. And
so is there any echo for me?
No, Jenny.
Any echo for me?
No.
Echo?
Yes.
A little bit.
I swear this damn Mercury retrograde. I know he went direct, but the little bastard.
No, that's still here. It's got to be.
It's the Pisces stuff. Is that better?
It's echoing a little bit.
Right at the end, it echoed.
I might be too close to the mic.
There you go. That's better. Now we're just waiting on Auntie Lena.
This was one of those days where, like, I dumped my purse out on my friend's couch because I couldn't find my car keys. I'm like, I know they're in here. They were in my pocket.
But look, I'm looking for mine and they were in my hand. So, I mean, That happens because I have a ring on my thing, and I had the ring on, and so they were dangling. And yeah, there we go.
I'm getting echo on Johnie now.
Now, is your microphone on up next to your speakers?
Not anymore.
Because it might be me speaking in your microphone, and then okay, so now it went away.
That's like fancy cool mic I got.
Very sensitive. It's picking us all up.
Okay, Lena, test.
Testing. How much do I love you? Moi.
We're good. The echo situation has been resolved. Sorry, guys.
Awesome.
We love you, Ona. We love you.
My bad. You know, I had a good series of time where people just could not hear me, and I couldn't figure it out, and I was doing all kinds of things. And now it's like broadcasting for, you know.
I know. Look, we all should have an 11-year-old in the basement, you know, for a
Figure this out for me and then go away, please.
Right.
Well, we're not Matt Gates, so.
Or the preacher.
Yes.
There was, he was
Him and his wife.
Missouri Governor Eric Greitens, 2015, allegedly was found with a woman tied up in the basement, and so it was consensual. Yeah, really awesome. Yeah.
Won't hurt him.
So what's our first question?
Yeah.
It was about
Bring us back in so we're not sitting in the basement too, because we were kind of fun.
It was about the Trump org, because Johnny's grand tableau said that he loses it, but it's like, can you repeat it again, Johnie? I'm sorry, I don't want to mess up your reading.
Well, no, because so he loses his position, is what I saw, and then you seen closing of the whole thing. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, since these are still readings and there's still conjecture until it happens, is he planning, or will he be planning, to start up a business elsewhere?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the key question. Will he try and reinvent it? So Yeti Mark II. Okay. In the comments, Nancy says Manafort had $42 million in assets seized. Ooh.
It's very interesting. I use these cards. Deck chooses the reading, I suppose. This is called the Shuffle Tarot. And what it has done is taken all of the characters and situations from one tarot card and put it in another. And it's befitting for this reading. You have the King of Cups sitting in the throne of the King of Pentacles. So there might be some reinventing. You also have the King of Wands sitting in the throne of the King of Cups. So him and another guy may be doing such a thing. There's the Queen of Cups sitting in the chair of the Queen of Swords. So there's two men and a woman. And then I get my confirmation of yes. And then Temperance and Five of Wands. There will still be a conflict because you know what this is. But to correct the situation is very slow. So it's not the law would catch up with them right away for them reinventing themselves elsewhere, because it's a legal thing they can do. Whatever it is, whatever venture, maybe they can't go back into the same exact venture, but he doesn't need the same exact venture. He just needs access to the same people. And so law will catch up, but it'll be a very long time. It'll be a conflict. So these things take time, but I do see 3 people reinventing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because I have my Melania card on the bottom, so maybe under Melania's name, because it's like a partnership. But if he gets blocked in New York, but the partnership, it's going to immediately get burdened. I get like Justice moving in, doing an investigation. It's all murky and everything. So I feel like it'll be a small business because he doesn't have any money to put anywhere anymore. He'll have to walk away from it. But I do get a yes. He will. It's just him and his family, and they're going to get investigated again. It'll give him one more thing to look at.
Yeah.
I get that he already has. I have this Knight of Pentacles, like that is the first card. So already looking for the Pentacle, right? Already trying to turn over. And then the next card is the Speakeasy. So that's like in the dark, behind the scenes, right? With a code. So investors that don't want to, let them know. And same as Johnie, Ace of Cups. So something emotional. 8 of Pentacles, they're already looking to see where they can expand. And the last card I got was the Magician. So always cooking. Constant.
Thank you, Kim and Marie.
Will I go, Becca?
Yes, ma'am, please.
This is like a textbook, sort of story here. Okay, justice comes down. The sword of justice to follow it up, meaning Letitia James will go, I think, what they call the nuclear option, which is, disbanding the company. But he's a mercenary, first and foremost, assessing, like Ona was saying, already assessing where to get the next dollar from. He has a great idea, which is get it from overseas, because no American company is going to lend it to him. All the real companies overseas, like Deutsche Bank, aren't going to touch him. I suspect this is UAE money, if he could look at it. Their money collectively, Trump org, right, will be, here we have the Ace of Pentacles. That money will be reinvented. At least they're going to really try. But remembering, for students of tarot, the Ace of Pentacles can also be fool's gold.
Yeah, like cryptocurrency, right?
He's a
Reinvented or relaundered?
Everything that starts with re.
I get that there's a pattern of something that he does all over again that's kind of sneaky and suspicious and fraudulent. New and then fraud. So I wonder how that would, I don't know how that would work. Because Letitia James, that's only state. I don't know how the federal cases are going to turn out. The criminal ones that are coming out of New York. So can we look at the ones in New York? I'm going to sit this one out.
The criminal one that was run by Cy Vance, and now it's a new guy.
Yes.
Okay. So hers is civil, his is criminal. Right? Yes. So we're looking at the criminal one, yeah?
The criminal, to see if any indictments will come from the Manhattan DA, which is the one that's doing the criminal charges.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, someone just said the Saudis, UAE, already setting up a new golf tournament on Trump golf courses. Lucky they don't need to make money because they won't. And all his golf courses have lost money, so,
Thank you, Prairie. Prairie says it's not an echo, it's extra love.
Oh.
Gorgeous. Sorry, what are we doing? Oh, the criminal case, New York. criminal case, New York.
I get yes. Ace of Wands, Eight of Swords. Something is restricted, something's bound. New action that's causing this. There's a man and a woman here. So I don't know exactly who, but they are the ones who are under the most strain. This is not. This is not Trump's. I don't know who these people are. I wonder if it's Weinstein, not Weinstein, but whatever the other guy was.
Weaselberg.
Weaselberg, yes.
Yeah, I think Weaselberg's going to be betraying them. I get they're moving in. They're going to bully Trump. It's going to be the end of Trump Tower. Boom. New start. I get also 2 women and my children card. I get one of the sons. I feel like gets brought up in it to send a message. So justice, on the whole family, the whole entourage. But I get Weaselberg may end up secure. So I feel like he may betray Trump and Trump's family. I don't know if he already has, but I feel like he may turn. I feel Rico over it. Rico.
Yep. Rico.
Is there still an echo?
Yeah, everybody in the chat. I'm sorry, you guys. I know there's an echo. I have ears. Stop commenting on it, please. I keep telling you all we can't fix it.
Will I go?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it kicks off with death and judgment, just in case you were wondering, boom, not going to go well for the Trumps. Followed by the 5 of Cups, which is loss. Then there's the Knight of Wands, which is this one, the Stranger of Fire. They're a very strange family. Look, can you see this mask? Very weird. Puppeteering. Who's pulling the strings, right, on this? This is, I think, Trump trying to manipulate out of the worst, but it could also be, and I'm leaning more to this is what they're doing in this case to the Weaselbergs and the different ones, right, pulling their strings to see what will happen, right? This is moving to a safer place in the usual decks, right? So this is those who will give up the Trumps under pressure. These aren't the first sort of front line. These have to be really pressured, but they're like Weisselberg's family and different layers of it. And the outcome is the Magician. So I'm hoping that means that the guy heading up this can perform the miracle that everyone needs. Alternatively, it could be Trump weaseling out, speaking of weasels, right? So I'm really hoping that it's a positive Magician there. Yeah, that's me.
Miss Ona?
Oh, wait, now we can't hear you, Ona.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. See, he's already so locked up. That was the first card. So to even attempt this, they're like re-sculpturing, like redoing everything. All the pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles are also, and then the woman, see, I'm losing like who has pulled what, but the Maris of Fire. So this would, I'd say maybe Letitia James, right? But this is going on the criminal side from the, that what she has initiated may lock up a criminal proceeding.
And I think that's correct, Lena, because it feeds into the criminal case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question. And now I'm the one that's echoing. I'm going to throw this computer out of the window.
Oh, no, you may have to mute your microphone between when you're talking. Down below, try that and see if it takes the echo away. That fixed it.
No,
That fixed it? Okay. Thank you, Ona. So I have a question that wasn't on the community chat, but I just thought of it. So with everything that's going on right now, with the January 6th Commission, all of the criminal cases all over Georgia, New York, I mean, name it. There's a criminal investigation into Trump. Now we know that the GSA is, they're asking the GSA to review their lease with his property and dump them because all the paperwork is fraudulent. We're hearing that he's moving his Trump campaign stuff to one of the hotels so that they can charge the hotels so that because it's losing money. My question is, the only thing he has left that's consistent and reliable is his presidential pension. Are they going to take that away too? I mean,
he also, Becca, his super PAC for that goes directly to Trump.
The money
using $37,000 a month for a suite in Trump Towers that is unoccupied.
Yeah, because they can't get the business. So I'm wondering, besides all that, once they get all of the stuff, Georgia, New York, January 6th, everywhere, and they compile it all, will they have enough to end his pension for whatever reason?
Because it's unprecedented, obviously.
Yeah.
But yes. Sorry, I have to report. Prairie Griffith says, no one's paying attention to me.
That's because you're wrong, Prairie Griffith.
It can happen when you have your phone on as well.
Nobody's phone. It's Ona's microphone. That's what it is. It's not nobody's cell phone.
Hey, now, let's not be mean to Ona. She's our guest. I love her dearly. Y'all shut your mouths. That's my girl over there in the corner. I love you, Ona.
And sometimes StreamYard is just persnickety. So
yeah. Because it does that to me too sometimes when it's our regular Sunday night. So just calm down.
We'll survive. We'll survive.
So the question is, will they take away his presidential pension?
Oh, what a thrill.
There is a judgment about money. Yes. 4 of Cups and the Fool. There's something he has to give up but doesn't want to, but it's part of his reality. The 4 of Cups is not accepting that in which has been given, not offered, given to you. There is the 7 of Swords and the High Priestess as well. There's also something about something stolen. The High Priestess is secret enough, and then the 7 of Swords doesn't make it any better. So it's something stolen, and therefore, I guess we'll get to that question eventually, but there's something stolen here. And
I get the same.
He has no choice but to give it back. And it does have something to do with an asset or money. So there is a judgment on it. I'll just say yes to make it plain. But yeah.
That would make him the first president in history to lose their pension, wouldn't it?
I mean, he set all kind of precedents, though. So
yes, that's true. That is so true.
He wanted to be recognized for something. Here's something else, you know.
I get they're looking at a lot of options. There has to be an agreement to do this, but I get, break it up. They will beat him over the head with it because he's so financially independent and everything. He's got so much money. Yeah, they're going to put him out in the cold from his pension for all his corruptness.
Works for me.
Is there an echo still?
Probably.
It's only when we're talking, Ona, and your microphone picks it up. It's not when you talk.
So when you go, let the rest of us say nothing, and then it'll just be you.
That works. I actually have that his pension is protected, that there's a threat. But honestly, what is his pension? He couldn't live off of it anyway.
Yeah.
It's really nothing, right? And there is a stimulus. There's talk about that. There is, I guess there's always a way to put a lien on something and try to get money from people if they're not paying for stuff. And it's going to be a big hassle, right? But he's protected. Is he in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big stupid fool.
What'd you get, Lena?
Yeah. I think it's probably just too much hassle to go down that legal road almost. That's the vibe I get on it. So because he's stolen so much public money, there is a demand for this to happen, and it should happen. But I get they can't come up with a plan to make it happen, really, because no one knows what to call it or, what to attach it to or something like that. So I guess he'll be rich man poor. You know what I mean? Like he might have to make do on 150,000 a year or something, the poor pet, So it's like that. It just becomes too hard for them to try and push it home,
Yeah.
That's
I
my
get that promises that were made to him financially come under investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's manipulated somehow. So I'm leaning towards yes, but it might take a while. And this is also investigation, so perhaps the results of the investigation give him enough leverage to say he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. He's no longer in office. He should no longer ever be allowed to hold office. Oh, and by the way, taxpayers are not paying, because this is huge loads, resources that are already promised and committed. But then there's something here that happens that it has to be investigated, and it's bad. It's suspicious. It's not good. So.
See,
Because it is unprecedented.
too, I think we're still 1,000 miles legally from getting to the bottom of even the Mueller report stuff, which was about the back channels to Russia and stuff. And there is still a possibility 4 years from now, when these cases play out, that it was an illegitimate. I was going to say illegitimate pregnancy. But you know what I mean. And that might be the grounds. Down.
You bring up a great point, Lena. This is going to take forever. So my ultimate question is, will Trump live long enough for us to see him get justice? Because he's got a horrible eating habit. He snorts stuff up his nose.
Oh, sorry. Someone's just brought up in the comments, which is a really good point. The pension's not a big amount, but lifelong Secret Service protection is expensive. That's what they should pull.
And
Let's
all
see
of
how
it is
costly
something
you
he
are
ain't
now.
entitled to.
And he can hire the oath keepers and not pay them. See how long they serve.
Aang in the chat had a great question a minute ago. I wrote it down. I'm going to save it for the end, Aang, because it's pretty funny. So will he live long enough to get
If he
justice?
is declared illegitimate, he won't get it right. Yeah, I think that'll be the least of his problems if it goes all the way. That's why New York's so important for the sanity of the nation. People have to see action quite quickly now, Can't wait 4 years and 6 years for them. So is he going to survive?
I get it depends on when the devil calls him home.
When the devil what?
When the devil calls him home.
Oh,
I get the one. Call Donald Trump at your earliest.
I don't think we need to read. I think that's magic.
Thank you, Margaret. I get the Wheel of Fortune, and it is crossed by the High Priestess. So something with time is unknown at the moment. You can peer into the heavens if that is something you can do and maybe get a glimpse of it. But as of right now, it is unknown with the High Priestess. However, there's your message, your page of wands, whenever the devil calls him home. So you got the devil and the page of wands. Whenever he gets that phone call, hey girl, hey, then he's on his way out. Offer he can't refuse.
I get he's stuck here for it, but this is also like like jail, but I'm not getting jail. I'm getting he's going to be in a mental institution.
Yeah, I've always got that. For 4 years, I've got that.
Yeah, he is going to end up at a mental institution. Yes, he'll live long enough, but he'll act like he's imbalanced or whatever. Thank you, Scoo Man. But yes, steady here on Earth. But someone's going to be watching him because, he's somewhere where he's had a nervous breakdown or whatever. He's going to be in a mental institution. Now, what's interesting, I get after he's gone, after he's transitioned and moved on, there still will be things coming to court here for work that one of the kids did. So like Junior or somebody, and he's still a loser. Even after he's gone, he's still lost.
Well, he was born backwards. He's an ass baby, so it happens that way. Pardon me. Born with the turds. That's what he does. What'd you get, Lena?
Yeah. As reality is slowly kicking in, the burden on his system, on his fragile mind and the 2 neurons that float around there, it's a stress on his body. I think this is the GOP and or the family going, he's losing it. He can't make compromises, pennies to the poor. The difference is he's now the one who needs the pennies, right? And that, because he's a narcissist, a clinical, pathological narcissist, this is all eroding his vitality and actual well-being, if there's such a thing. And the big 9-0s, here we go. Is he going to make it? Couldn't promise. It's not looking marvelous, but it'll be mental, and that'll do his body, and I think we're going to see a downhill slide.
I think we've already seen a lot of it. Thank you, Catherine.
Oh, that was him at his best. Are you imagine? That was him as a peak of a tycoon.
What'd you get, Ona?
I do have a lot of swords. They're trying to balance. That was the first one. That might be a challenge to balance this. I get the wish card. It's hopeful, but it's also a blank card. It's completely blank. So, and I did. And then I picked up the King of Swords, and then the Ace of Swords. So it's everything. It will be like, well, with dementia or Parkinson's or whatever he has, he's absolutely deteriorating cognitively before any of this manifests.
You know what? It'll be a small funeral.
Yeah, I'll go.
Mm-hmm. The president of Diet Coke and the president of Burger King. That's about it. Lost their best customers.
I get mostly the financial stuff first, but no, he's going to be long gone. I get Scythe. So, no. Nope. So, Miss Lena, Auntie Lena had a question. We looked it up before we came live that William Barr, because Lena wanted to know about William Barr if he was going to be subpoenaed. And from what we gathered on the Google machine, it said that he was cooperating with the committee. So Lena, I guess you wanted to know what he told
Yeah,
you?
I want to know what that means. Is he doing the bare minimum that they require, or has he had a mea culpa moment where he just went, I'm over this and here's everything?
Or did he
Or
have a
something in the middle? I'd like to know.
or is he having a cover your own ass moment?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So where is he? Cooperation's a very flexible term. What does that mean for Barr and what he's done with the committee? Someone just said here, he should be buried at sea.
He'd probably wash back up because that's our karma. He'd wash right back up. Tangled in seaweed.
I think they'd have to put him on Elon Musk.
Send him to the moon.
Alex symbols, shoot him out into space.
The Lolita Express takes on a whole new meaning. They should hire Hillary to do the eulogy. Oh, that's hilarious.
Remember early on, Bill Barr was really hard to read. We're like, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? We don't know. This might be his good guy thing.
That's what I was thinking a couple of weeks ago. I was thinking about, wow, I remember when it was really hard to read on him, like he would do the right thing ultimately. But then, like, the mask came down. We saw, we could see in the cards what he truly was. Thank you, Letitia.
Yeah, I think so. That's. I feel it. He's got an alcohol problem.
Mm-hmm.
I could smell that, but it seems like that's kind of evolving. It took me a long time to get into that energy where I could read on him because he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Lena?
Well, it's very similar to Ona's vibe in that sense. So I think he was very direct with them. He agreed to what they asked him to do. There they are. This is collectively the committee, and with the lover's card, he agreed with what they demanded. He had lots of things they expected, but some he didn't. The surprise news, Page of Cups. He cooperated more fully than perhaps I thought or someone else thought, because he saw that this was an absolute end game for American democracy that was even bigger than his own selfish motivations. It was huge. He finally got that. And the emperor, he wanted to go down in history, I think, as redeeming himself in some way from the abortion that was the Mueller report, and he killed it in the crib. And that was such an amoral act that I think he's trying to redeem himself. I hope so.
I think he's sharing some stuff. It's like he moved into the investigation. This is Wheel of Fortune. It's his time to show that he can work together. I think he gave them information on the January 6th riot, that he had some sort of knowledge beforehand that he shared with them. And I think he knows something about some of the Republicans that were working with Trump on the riot. So he's got some details there. But I get there's other stuff like he blocks. He's doing a little dance around Trump as far as like COVID and any other questions. So he's not answering everything.
Yeah, I get the 6 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. So there's your giving out of information of some sort. There is something here, though, that's you need to, if they've spoken to him once, they need to do it multiple times, because he didn't give everything, and he definitely knows a lot more. Something that can be very damaging for the White House at the time, the 10 of Swords and the 4 of Wands. He can literally bring ruin. because if you ask me, this is not in the cards, this is just what I'm saying. He was in the room when they were discussing how to overthrow an election and overturn, and that's why he quit, because he didn't want to be a part of such a thing. He was okay with ending the Mueller report. He was okay with getting rid of the Epstein thing. He was okay with everything else except this.
Yeah.
And so he walked away, and the hangman perspective changed. So he has a lot more information. What they got from him, I cannot tell from just these 6 cards, but he didn't give everything. There's still a whole lot that weighs him down. This is not, however, pricking his conscience to where he's going to be knocking at Nancy Pelosi's office door saying, hey, can we have a chat or anything like that. I think his conscience is long gone, but he does have a lot more that he can offer should he be compelled to do so.
Thank you, Jenn. I have a follow-up question to this, Beck, after you go.
Did Ona go already? I
No,
have
not
my... Ona went already?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Go ahead.
This is what made me think that he was, that in the end he may come out to be somebody that actually did good. It's the King of Cups, but it's got that sort of like you only see half his face kind of thing. And
Yeah, well, he's got some
you know
making
what?
up to do.
Giving up information. Yeah, and then the Ace of Swords. I just did 3 cards. Ace of Swords. So that's telling the truth. I think that like you said, Johnie, when it came to Trump wasn't going to be president anymore, and his job was over. Barr's job was over. He didn't have to protect this anymore, and now he's hopefully going to be more cooperative.
He's still a scabby villain.
Yes.
Yeah. I get that that there was visitors that were coming constantly, perhaps from the House of Representatives or to the House, White House, whatever. And then there's the block, the obstruction, and the thievery. But so he delivered stuff that was solid. But at the same time, because of these two, I'm also wondering if he's playing not only a cover your own ass, but cover the asses of members of Congress, Republicans in the House, block here, because they were part of the block and the steal. So the Jim Jordans, the
Mark Meadows,
all those sort of people.
So that leads to my follow-up question. It's like, okay, he served under Bush Sr. He was there when Reagan was there in the Iran-Contra affair. He's been around a long time. And then Trump. So is he in Liz Cheney's camp? Is he with the old guard? Or is he
that's a good question.
Is he with the quacking on her nut jobs?
While we're doing that, a couple of comments. Trump should be forced to live in a trailer park surrounded by his supporters.
And here's not to rehabilitate George Bush, little Bush, because he was a piece of crap. But I saw on Twitter and all over the place that he's been maxing out how much you can donate to people that are running against Trump.
Trump nominees.
He's been maxing out on everything.
Who has his bar on now? Is he with the Trump?
Oh, George Bush. Late in life, he's getting his act together.
What was the question, Jenny?
Is Bill Barr part of the old GOP
God damn it.
or MAGA country?
Let's make it more specific. Does he support Liz Cheney or not?
Yeah. Does he support Liz Cheney or not? Because that would tell you if he's with the old guard and flips back, or is he still with the MAGA people?
Yeah.
Does he support Liz Cheney?
So 7 of Swords, 4 of Wands. He's a sneaky Pete, period. The 4 of Wands, the Emperor, the Empress. He is part of the old guard. Now, that does not necessarily mean that he is Liz Cheney's best friend in the world, but he is part of the old guard. The Sun and the 2 of Swords, he hides his hand a lot, though. So he will do something that goes against what he believes because that's the kind of person he is. And that's why he is so hard to read, is because he does have two different types of calculation in his head, if you ask me. But yeah, I believe he is part of the old guard.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. I think the full Trump, like he's done with him. He's not accepting it anymore. The devil. It's like the devil, is better. The old guard. He's turned his back. This is a big change. He's done a 180 head turn, complete with where he's been. So he's looking to secure the White House, and he doesn't think that Trump can secure it again. So I think he's completely behind Liz, whether financially, with his vote, with strength, whatever.
Lena, what'd you get?
Yeah, interesting. He is slippery, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, he is a legal guy, and looking at all the nuts and bolts of what's gone down. He can no longer support that brand new day, the fool. His motivation now is to get the new leader coming in. Here's the victory card with the 6 of Wands, to topple Biden in a conventional sense. He wants the RNC to come up with someone to displace Biden. Yeah, that's what I got. Becca.
I am sorry. The StreamYard is it's one of them days, y'all. Nobody tell me Mercury is direct, because that little bastard. Oh God, I'm having issues. Sorry, guys.
I actually think it's probably not StreamYard as much as YouTube. I've been having trouble on YouTube all weekend.
Have you?
What'd you get, Ona?
Some of the same things, that he is supportive. This was the first card. It was the strength card, and kind of defensive. I think he may think that she's gone a little too far. Perhaps he's kind of defensive. And then the devil, same as you. So I'm thinking maybe an abuse of power in some way, or maybe he perceives that. I don't know. But that was, and it's her that I think he might have an issue with her personally, but not professionally.
Well, may he never sleep again. What about you, Becca?
I got kicked out, so I have no idea what you guys are
Okay. Have we all gone on that question?
Okay, go to your next one. Becca Lenormand, go to your next question. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry about that. So the Trump White House visitor logs.
Yeah, the ones he hasn't eaten or mulched yet. Yeah, those were.
Every time he needs a midnight snack because he did too much coke and he's up, or too much Adderall and he's up all night. Got to munch on those visitors logs.
A bit of dipping sauce, bit of ketchup down the hatch.
I mean, couldn't have cooked it better myself.
So Ona is a registered nurse. Ona, what happens to you if you just eat way too much paper?
You can cause an obstruction.
Yeah.
In your guts, right? Or in your butt?
It could cause an obstruction. Absolutely, yes. Yeah. If you can't pass on, you can cause an obstruction, and maybe some stuff will swiggle by. And if you start to, how Eric likes to eat paste, right? And things like that, you can develop into something called a bezoar.
Ooh.
Oh.
And a bezoar is just a pileup of litter, literally, in your gut. A lot of people who have eating disorders, sometimes they'll eat stuff that things like that, paper, plastic, things that, yeah.
Like I said before, Donald Trump, president so full of shit, the country.
Great.
He's so just clogging up.
He needs a plumber, not just for his toilet, but his own pipes.
Yeah.
So what do we do? Just pull a couple of cards on the
White House visitor logs.
On the visitor logs.
What's the question? Will they get it? Because they're supposed to get it.
Well, he was trying to block it, and Biden said no. Give it to the Gen 6 committee.
They've got like 15 days or something, less than that now, to give it to them.
Oh.
I mean, I still go back to why didn't you just burn everything?
Yeah, like normal people.
Or shred or something. Why did you have to literally eat paper? Oh, bless his heart. That's crazy.
I know, really. What were you thinking? I'll just shoot.
Honey, I'll be upstairs shortly. Just doing a bit of filing.
Like just some weird, like James Bond thing or something. Like, what was he doing?
I mean, that's just bizarre. Like, stop it. What is just? I mean, okay. Or don't commit crimes. That way you ain't got to burn evidence. Jesus Christ.
Look.
Time is up. Time is up. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting money here. It's like they have bagmen going in there to pay off the peanut butter boys and the oath creepers because I got money going in and out of the White House.
Yeah.
Everybody in the network, the list will be complete. Republicans on it, and everybody they tried to block, they lose. All the details are going to the committee. I get the justice card here. There's something on the list that's a little bit manipulated, so I think there might be some names that might be aliases or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, there's some aliases, but there's money going out of the White House, like to pay off these demon people he was in partner with to bully for the insurrection. There's bag money.
God dog it. So
payoffs.
So, Lord Jesus.
Put it out, Johnny. Johnny's got a paper clog.
See, if I eat paper, is because I didn't take all the wrapper off the candy first. That's usually my case. He went full hungry goat style and just ate it all. Stop it. Like the Hungry Hippos game or something. It just, what a maroon. This is exactly why. This is exactly why the tarot calls him the fool. It's not an insult. It's an actuality. But here again with the shuffle tarot, there is the Three of Cups. These alliances, because I also get the Lovers with the Devil instead of the Angel. These alliances they spell very bad news. The visitor log should not be controversial. And therefore, if it's something Trump wants to hide, you better believe there's something in there he wants to hide. There is visitors there that come from a ways back as well, too, with the Six of Cups. These are old friends drinking the tears of something. There's also the Two of Wands with the strength. Some of these people from overseas, especially when you invited Russian spies into the Oval Office. Again, Jesus, I can't do it. there is, and I give up. But yes, there's a lot of people from his past that spell very bad trouble when you question why were these people here and what were they doing while they were there. What did they take also with Jen's Ace of Pentacles? What did they take when they left? They left with something. Information, promises, something. They left with something. The only strength card I've ever seen where the lion actually gets a hold of the person. And so Now we have an issue. So there you go.
Mhm.
So
Oh my God.
they spell trouble, those visitor logs.
Mhm.
Did you get Lena?
Well, yeah, interesting. 9 of Gardens, which is 9 of Pentacles, the good life, plenty of money, to get access to the government in the form of the Hierophant, right? So the call logs will reveal these strange names and stuff. You'd think it was non-controversial, but of course nothing is. So they literally bought their way in, like access to the president. There was theft, I think, of the actual bits of the logs or distortion. This is the false knight in the other thing. So there was theft and distortion around who went in, because he charges for everything. He pays nobody, but charges for everything. But the judgment card
You have
comes
a
on
meeting
down.
with me. Be on time. And by the way, it costs you this much.
Tick, tick, tick. He's worse than the worst lawyers. Good morning, $200. Sit down, $500. What do you want to say? $1,000.
You like a Diet Coke.
That's right. Diet Coke's a bargain at $1,500 because it's got my name on it. But here comes judgment to round out this spread. And I think everyone should be shock-proof by now. And this looks like a little nothing aspect of what's going on. But yet again, he doesn't fail to disappoint and deliver the drama. But again, where's it going to go? What are they going to do with it when they've got so much else going on?
Yeah. Oh God. Yes.
Wonder what he charged to use his toilet.
I think it'd be off limits for the germphobe.
That's just for his flush.
No amount of money would get you in there, which is probably a mercy.
What'd you get, Oda?
I do get that that some of it was destroyed. Now here's the businessman, there's right? And then we have strength here. That comes, actually it's a 7 of Wands. So he's trying to defend something. And whatever this documentation is, he's worried about it changing his direction. The Fool card. And then the Sun. Like it's going to come out or it's going to be, but there's something multiple times. So it's a wheel that's represented like multiple times somebody comes in over and over and over again.
Does anyone know? Surely we think of it as this book where people sign in, in this quaint, old-fashioned way. Surely it is not the only record of who walks through the door into the Oval Office. There must be an electronic record.
There's got to be an electronic calendar.
Has there not?
Yeah. Thank you, Cold Toes. In this day and age, there's got to be an electronic calendar.
See, because my thing is also, too, nobody goes to see the president without somebody knowing it. Because he is never by himself, because he can't be, because it's not even a legal thing for him to be by himself. So nobody has gotten into his office, the Oval Office, his vicinity, without somebody knowing about it. So there's a record somewhere other than just a piece of paper.
Security, the Secret Service, they've got to have a record of who's coming in versus the tourists, that were there.
Security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
They wipe those too. I get that there are repeat people that were in cahoots for the stealing of the election. And then it ends with stars. That's where I came up with perhaps surveillance or something like that. Because this is technology where sun is more like electricity. This is technology. So it's like they're going to find it. Even if mice is here. So even if you tried to eat something, flush it down the toilet, feed it to Melania. I don't care. It comes out,
It's going to come out.
I've got that image.
Johnie, what happened?
Someone says here, Marianne says, He let them in the back door. Now, there's a question. Has the White House got a back door, and who monitors it?
Oh, Jesus.
What, Johnny?
That's where he gets his Burger King delivered, the back door.
So here's another question. What happened to Johnny?
He's laughing too much.
Oh, he lost it. Oh, he had the.
Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Sorry, Johnny. So CNN has been, people have been reporting that CNN has been slowly but surely hiring post Trump administration people. So no big names that we've seen on camera, but people that were in or around the administration. They've been quietly hiring these people.
I think this is a really sinister development.
Yeah, and I guess just recently, CNN has been purchased by a Donald Trump supporter, a DJT donor, Donald Trump donor. Is CNN going to turn into Fox News 2.0?
CNN going to the dark side. Look, already they were pretty dodgy now, because remember when Bernie was everywhere, they would not support AOC or Bernie. They would not give them 2 seconds of airtime.
Not even MSNBC, really. It was all, media. Like it's part of maintain the status quo. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
and a healthy democracy needs independent media, and everywhere is suffering from this. Actual people buying broadcast stations. I mean, which can we do Murdoch next, because it's sort of related.
Well, at least the billionaire that was bankrolling Steve Annan's podcast went bankrupt.
Awesome.
I forget what his name was, but he went bankrupt.
He was what, a Chinese fugitive or something?
Yeah, there was something weird. Yeah. And he got arrested on his yacht, or something. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, they're saying CNN was bought out by a right-wing propaganda show. So it's like, I don't watch CNN, and I haven't watched CNN in years, because there's just some shady stuff going on with that.
I know. 15 years ago, it was fabulous. 10 years ago, it started to get weird. 5 years ago, it just became talking heads talking over each other. It's been a slide.
And remember, for the longest time when they had MSNBC does it too. MSNBC has a bunch of Republican or previous Republican talking heads on their stations, like Joe Scarborough, Nicole Wallace. But remember when CNN had Rick Santorum for the longest time, and then he finally said something so racially disgusting that they finally kicked him off the show. It's like, CNN is weird. CNN is weird.
And what's crazy is that was the one station sort of trusted by the airports to be not either Democrat or Republican, so they play it everywhere.
Yep.
And then, do you guys have Sky News? Because it started here too.
You have to look for that one here.
Oh, you don't want to find it.
Yeah.
It's like OANN. You have to look.
It's shocking. It's as bad as Fox. It's every inch as bad as Fox. In fact, it's more dangerous because they're slightly more convincing.
Mm-hmm.
CNN.
2 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. Business relationship, something sneaky in the background. 8 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. There's a fight in work. 2 of Swords, 3 of Cups. I believe over time, at least 2 years' time, you will see people start to flake off from CNN. The ones who were staples, maybe even an Anderson type thing. So you will see people start to flake off because of the 3 of Cups wants it their way, and the 2 of Swords wants it a different way. So there's an indecision, but a decision will be made for you even if you do not decide. So time will progress and you will be left out because you did not participate in what we're continuing to do. So 7 of Swords sneaking.
get the same thing, like an indecision about who's going to work there. You know, they're going to regret this. I do see them changing. You know, it's all the money behind it. So the ones that speak the truth will probably be moving away. You'll see less and less of them. I'm getting. They're just not going to participate, but you're going to see like major restructuring with them. And oh, look, here's the new and improved sneaky stuff. You know, yeah, they're going to turn into crap.
Lena, what you get?
It's a funny spread because it's like these cards have started that, yes, that's all going to happen. And it's what should happen instead, almost. It's kind of weird. So as I read it, it's like Biden needs to get some authority to actually reduce. I think every head of government everywhere should be doing this anyway, getting them under the 50%. If you want a broadcast license, you can only do X amount of outlets, and more than 50% has to be publicly held or something like that. There needs to be some legal development, because if this goes ahead, and I'm sure it will, where does that leave? PBS NewsHour is fantastic, and I'd love everyone in the world to watch PBS, but they don't. And so CNN's going to become, as people break away from Fox and realize they've been duped, they're going to think they've got this brand new real thing with CNN that is just about the money. Dark discussions are underway, and they've got every intention of ruling the world, really. It's a global channel. It's very bad.
There's another really good independent media, Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. That one's really good too.
Yeah. I love the PBS NewsHour. It's awesome. What'd you get, Ona?
Let me see. I looked up because I was getting a lot of women in the spread. So I think they're going to be replacing, Zucker did he resign? Jeffrey Zucker? They had his name, he just resigned, right?
I think so. From CNN. Well, it was his decision, but basically he would have gotten fired because his relationship was outed. So yeah, he left.
He got fired, and there's women that are replacing him. They're putting this in. So I think they want to redesign it, rebrand it, but it's going to be under, strict,
what part of
this is the 10 of fire, so 10 of wands would be like 10 of wands. Like it's a burden. It's pressing on you.
What deck is that, Ona? I love it.
This is the Tinker Dam deck. It is a really cool deck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tinker Dam, 2 words.
Yep.
Ona has great decks. I love her Bosch deck also.
Oh yeah, I got to get that one out.
I'll be right back. I like the one with the guy getting flowers pounded into his ass.
Thank you, Jill.
I get that there's going to be significant manipulation of their audience. It becomes very partisan because that's what they desire. Fox mirrors over to Fox mirrors over to Crossroads, so it's manipulating your choices. Also, 2 foxes. So quite literally, it could be like 2 foxes.
2 foxes. Ooh.
Yeah, because Crossroads is double, and this could be quite literal 2 foxes. So like 2 different Fox Newses, because here it's saying that it's their audience. So. I mean, it may not be balls to the walls propaganda like Tucker Carlson or Laura Ingraham or Sean Hannity, but it looks like it slowly starts working that way. Just kind of the theory of putting the frog in the boiling water, slowly turn up the temperature. You know what I mean? And slowly start moving.
Because I mean, if it's go through your local broadcasting stations, the people who bring you your local news, those are owned by just a few companies here in the U.S., like Sinclair Broadcasting, and then maybe one other one. They control the news you see. So if they don't really want you to see such a story, you're not going to see such a story. So those, it may not seem like, oh, well, my local news people are trusted, but your local news people don't come up with those stories. They broadcast. They don't go and report and dig and bring it back. And if they do, it's still going to be edited and proofreaded and then, you know, checked off by somebody else first. So you do need to go and seek out independent stories.
You know what else is interesting now that you mentioned that, Johnie? I remember when Sinclair started buying up a bunch of local news stations, and it got to the mainstream media like MSNBC and Democracy Now! And all that stuff, that how they were. So if you're in Cincinnati and Sinclair bought your local news there and you're watching the news in, like, I don't know, pick a state, New Jersey, and a news station that was purchased by Sinclair, they're both working off the same script. And it's propaganda. So it's like,
and really dangerous because they co-opt small town stuff, and people trust their local stuff.
Yep. And it's all, like you said, co-opted. It's insane. It's insane. So anyways, you wanted to ask about Murdoch.
Yeah. Now, Rupert Murdoch is 90 something now, and will presumably shuffle off the mortal coil sometime. And people write to me and say things like, oh, it'll be much better when his sons take over. That'd be no. Because the problem is, when they were younger, they, you know, tackle him a bit. And James, who's the only one with a working brain, has been frozen out because he wouldn't cave in. Lachlan, the younger one, basically will go all the way with Fox. He might tinker around the edges, but he's as demonic as his father. Looks like a 12-year-old Boy Scout, but don't be fooled.
He's like a 12-year-old serial killer.
Yeah, right.
Boy Scout. So what's the question?
So the question is, let's look at it differently. So will Fox lose its audience over time just with Trump getting weaker and weaker? I think that's sort of, or will it hold on through it all and, you know, rebrand?
Because, you know, at one point, it didn't continue, but at one point, OANN had more viewers than Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the question?
Will Fox News audience start to trail off as Trump gets weaker or not? The power of Fox, let's just look at it that way. That includes Tucker Carlson with an F, that includes Hannity. Will they continue to dominate in this way?
Because, you know, my feeling is at one point, they're going to have to switch the narrative from Donald Trump to the new person.
Yeah.
Whoever they're going to sick after the Democrats next, it has to be from Donald Trump to this person at some point. But that's going to alienate all the MAGAs who can't move on.
So let's just call it the future of Fox.
Lucy is here for Cheetos.
Look at that. The future of Fox.
And here's something I don't understand.
What's that?
My father-in-law is one of those, you know, he fits the demographic. 70 years old, Republican, that sits down and turns on that black box every day like a good little citizen to get brainwashed watching Fox News over and over again.
Yeah, 16 hours a day.
16 hours a day. And I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, and I'm looking at my father-in-law and I'm like, how are they not dead? Because it's all outrage news. It's not even news. It's just outrage. I'm like, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, like, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So
I get 4 of 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 4 Page of Pentacles, the reliability, meets the Five of Pentacles, the lack. So we are going to have a situation to where there is going to, like I said, it's going to have to be a pullback. It's just, it kind of just has to be. What's interesting here with the Shuffle Tarot, it's unclear. With the moon, their future is very uncertain. They're going to have to make the shift at some point. But this is the Death card seen on the Wheel of Fortune. So there is going to be a change, and this is going to happen naturally. It's kind of has to. I mean, this is not even, it's not even that controversial. It has to happen. There has to be a shift from Donald Trump because he's not the future of the party. He's not the Fox News.
How many lawsuits is it going to take, though, before they're like, oh.
And that's another thing. How many times will keep taking a bullet for this man? Jesus.
I get they're going to be moving on, passing judgment when all these lawsuits and actions come in. The betrayal that he's done. There'll be a lot of people separating out from Fox News. So, yeah. All right, Lucy left Cheeto crumbs all over my table.
I know. What did you get?
Maybe. I get that there's new energy coming in, and it's still and they're making choices, they're making decisions, and they're actually putting more women in. I'm getting a lot of female energy here as this like sort of to rebrand kind of thing, and shooting down the messages again. They're coming in, right? So it is that it'll continue on its cycle, but it'll have more women representing some of the news, hopefully. I mean, I don't know what could make that news channel any lighter or softer.
So just have pretty young blondes like more Tommy Lawrence on.
Short skirts.
Yeah, that kind of.
Yeah.
Well, it's a winning formula. Nothing's changed.
What did you get, Lena?
Yeah. Well, it seems like everybody, I got the Judgment card. So like they know in terms of number crunching, they're talking about it now, how they're going to reinvent themselves, the fine print. Who are we going to sack? Who are we going to hire? What's it going to look like? Who's the new guy, but they're not going to be public with that yet. But I think this is behind the scenes. They're working quite hard on it. It's somewhat of a burden to do the transition, but they don't want to be out in the cold. So they're going to come up, I think, with, there's 2 8s and a 10 here. They're going to come up with lots of new ideas that they're going to throw at the wall and see what sticks. Little new segments here and there.
The caravan coming from Mexico.
The caravan, coming from Mexico, exactly. And they're going to do their best to manipulate the public into the next generation because that is their mission,
Like Tucker Carlson indoctrinating his audience that Russia's our friend, fascism is totally cool, but here's the Constitution. It just says we're going to be okay with fascism. Like I don't get it. And the audience is stupid. I'm sorry to say it. They're stupid. It's too hard for them to, I heard this on Tucker Carlson or Laura Ingraham. Let me go on the Google machine and look it up. That's too much effort. They're just spoon-fed what to think.
And they're attached to the outrage.
Yeah.
There's a righteousness of their position. They can be lazy and not have to think, but they know they're outraged.
Yeah. Yeah. Outrage media, it's what they should call it. Rebranded to outrage media.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just going to be, they have longevity. They're going to be successful. They're still going to be around spreading lies and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So, no. This is a damn shame. And I keep asking that question. And I think I've asked it a few times already. I've never asked the cards, but it's just a curiosity. Like, I get the First Amendment and everything, but when I look at it, I see an institution that's radicalizing its viewers. and inspiring them to commit political violence based on misinformation. So, and I understand the First Amendment, and every time that Fox News or any of their hosts get taken to court, they always claim, we're not a news station, we're purely entertainment. So what I keep thinking in my head is, why can't somebody do to Fox News and Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham what they did to Big Tobacco for purposefully lying to their consumers and giving them cancer and letting people die? You know, like
that is, yeah, that's a really important point. Now, we're benefiting from the First Amendment too. You know, we all understand what it means, but there's some sort of line surely between full-blown radicalization, because if this was a Muslim channel saying this, you can imagine what would happen. Okay. And Tucker Carlson being on Russian news every night of the week. Surely there's a case.
I don't know. I should have gone along.
Somebody said in the chat he's about to interview Vladimir Putin.
Tucker Carlson?
That's what I just saw.
I would love for Vladimir Putin to castrate Tucker Carlson on TV. All of us
on TV
live. So he can let us all know how wonderful Russia is. Or poison him. Please. Give him some tea.
And here's the mystery, really, because like you say, your father-in-law, the 70-year-old guys, they grew up with the Cold War stuff. How deep is this stuff? They've taken 5 years to get into these guys' brains to say Russia's a good guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Russia's great.
And the fact that we know Putin likes to divide our country up. Like, why would you give any airtime to somebody like that?
Exactly. And back to what Lena was saying, this is the baby boomers, the people that were around during World War II and the Cold War. But somehow all of a sudden now they're totally okay with, Russia's our friend. We love Vladimir Putin. It's wonderful. We should do what Russia's doing. We should do it here. That's a totally winning strategy.
Meanwhile, Russia wants us to take any weapons or anything we have in Alaska out because he doesn't feel safe.
Yeah. Hell, we'll just send him Sarah Palin. How about that?
Yeah. He'll feel safer with her over there.
I just can't. Okay, speaking of the ridiculous, to try to lighten things up a little bit. The pastor in Tennessee, Jenny, we got witches in our church.
Oh, yeah. Now I've missed this story, so fill me in.
Jenny, please.
He's on stage and saying, we've got 6 witches and I've got their first and last names, and 3 of them are here right now, and you're new, to the church, and one of them's new, and if you don't, repent and everything and make yourself known by next week, I'm going to call out your 6 names and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's all show for witches. So what's the question? Is he gonna, and everybody in the audience, everybody, in the congregation was like, yeah. I was like, oh, you freaking.
I have 2 questions on this. One would be, why is he under the impression there's a witch in his church?
Yes.
And then 2,
6
afterwards,
witches.
how does all of this play out?
Yeah.
See, Johnie, this is another example of why I want to be Satan. Because I would get up and I'd be like, that's right, bitch, I'm burning your house down.
And I want to know, why do these women go to this church?
I mean,
how do you have their names?
Yeah.
So what's the first part of the question, John?
The first one is, why is he under the impression there's a witch in his church?
That they are witches.
Why is he under?
I bet you all these one reads tarot cards. I bet you anything.
Probably there's some women that are anti-white patriarchal society.
Yeah, and they have a lot of cats.
I don't know, but I think next time I think the church is down near Nashville somewhere. Next time I visit my friends and my sister, I may have to go pay that church a visit.
Oh, absolutely! Please tell
Look,
me.
we're using this as light relief, but who knows what they're capable of doing if these women are identified? I mean,
That's how one
Just gonna
how
burn
to
them at
play
the
out.
stake. What are you gonna do? Burn them?
Johnny, what's the second part of the question?
How does all this play out?
Okay.
Yeah. So where is it? Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville area, Middle Tennessee area.
Thereabouts.
He's obviously never been to New Orleans.
He's well known down there. I forget his name, but
Yeah, he'd be too scared to go to New Orleans.
I mean, he'd be too scared to come in this house. Ace of Cups and the Hermit. Somebody with a suspicion came to him and said, hey, this type of thing. Two of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Star and the Justice.
he's also, by the way, a COVID denier.
He's an everything denier. He's okay. This is not here in these cards, but this is coming to me psychically because I'm a witch. There is something within him and the person he was speaking to that has a paranoia of things, first, they don't understand, and two, that there's something to getting them or something out to get them. There is, I don't want to say curse, but they feel as though somebody is out to get them and they're bringing harm to the church. I, honest to God, think that's karma more than likely, because I'm not trying to cast dispersions, but I think they made him and somebody there is up to something they shouldn't be. And instead of saying, oh, I should maybe repent and not be a horrible person, I'm being cursed and there's witches in my church, and then somebody pointed them out.
And you know what better way to control people than to make them fear something?
Fear.
Yes.
Fear is a great motivator for sheep to just fall in line of the big bad wolf.
This was premeditated, though. He came up with this all on his own before he even decided who he was going to call out as a witch, because he wants to get women to cling to him. so yeah, he's illumination on the devil. Yeah, whatever. He's after the money. The money. That's all he's doing it for. He just wants them to give more money so that he can expel more witches.
Yeah. Oh. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. He set himself up as the Hierophant in that town, in that district, so he knows everything. Scary women, particularly naked women. I would not be surprised if he hasn't made a pass at one or more of these women and been rebuffed. I'm getting a weird. As soon as this card went down, I thought but that was what came into my mind. Not all 6 of them, but 1 or 2 of them. That's a possibility. Yes, he's in it only for the money. I can save you from these witches. But the sun is going to come to light. I think he has bitten off more than he can chew with this. There's a bit of thing. He sees him, he's setting himself up as a bigger leader than he is, sort of thing. I can save you, just give me another $20, right, with these promises. And he's going in guns blazing.
Only I can save you. Only I can fix this.
Only I can save you. And he's going in guns blazing. And I think it's not because people will go, this isn't fair or right, or who is this guy? It'll happen of its own accord. If he's capable of this, what else has he done? And I'm a bit heartened by the Sun card. I think this might backfire a bit over time.
What'd you get, Miss Nona, with the witches?
He's trying to dodge a sexual harassment suit.
See,
he's one step in front of a sexual harassment suit. Passion. You see his sword? Okay, he misplaced it. Okay, let's just say that. Right? Okay, and it's not right.
Misplaced sword.
And he spoke ahead. He's trying to get ahead of the curve.
That makes sense.
Empress. Okay. Yeah.
I think
he's trying to get ahead of like the scandal by saying, oh, we've got, and he's going to expel them from, excommunicate them, whatever he's doing. He's because he's up against a sexual harassment.
Exactly. And you can't believe a word they say because they're witches.
And you know what else was funny? I saw in the comments here in StreamYard, someone was saying that he's claiming that the names were given to him by a demon. What you doing talking to demons, homeboy? Because I didn't get a phone call from you. Hello.
That's right.
Hello. Again, this is why I want to be the devil, you guys. Like this stuff like this.
And I'm
Stuff like
sorry,
this.
in 2022, if people are lapping this up, they've got issues and they can't be saved. I mean, really.
I really do hold a very special place in my heart for witches, because all it is just the patriarchy trying to put down women. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing wrong with a good witch.
No. Witches rise, damn it.
Yes.
It's all marketing about a holy book. So he's fluffing himself up. What's going to come of it? Nothing. He's just going to keep raising his voice and continue adding to and talking to about it. So it's just a way of him making himself appear like he knows a lot about this holy book. There's book, there's cross, and there's here. So he's marketing himself, making himself famous for this Bible thing, a book that's religious, so.
Okay. I did one more on how does this play out? And 2 of Cups and 5 of Swords. So there is some sort of relationship there that he may be looking as the bully on with the 5 of Swords, taking advantage. Get the broom. He is taking the advantage of someone or something or some situation with the 5 of Swords and the 2 of Cups. There is a woman here, and justice does surround her. I don't know if he is trying to bully one in particular one and just saying it's 6 names to cover tracks type of thing. But there may be one in particular he is trying to bully, and there's justice around that. 4 Swords and the Magician. Something about his power. I don't know if he steps away, steps down, or he's not stepped down permanently, because 4 Swords is not a permanent thing. But you have to get up eventually. But there's some sort of pullback moment, or maybe he pulls back from this. But there is a woman around here that he is trying to bully, and he is going to let this go eventually. Here's the thing, too, just as an aside. If you talk to God, people who don't believe in God may also think you are crazy or some sort of otherworldly being or some sort of witch. You're talking to something nobody else can see. And so maybe, just maybe, when you have the rock in your hand while you're inside your glass house, put that sucker down. That's all I'm saying. Is you may look a little strange to the person who has no idea what you're doing either. Take the time to understand. Do you even know what witch is? Do you even know what a witch is?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Johnny. Here's a definition of a witch from one of our viewers. A witch is a bitch who gets shit done.
By any means necessary, but
best definition I've read.
Yeah, he's definitely, stirred up all the angst in the church here, and lightning's gonna come down, strike these witches dead. It's kind of the energy's trying to do, like it's we're all family here. I do think he's got a lawsuit coming. He's trying to block here that's sexual in some form here. That's going to be a big battle for him, and he may have to settle out of court to try to get it to go away. But I feel like his image will be tarnished,
Yeah, I don't think it's going to end up well for him down the track.
Because it was goofy the way it started out.
But then he, according to the chat, they were saying that he got his intel from a demon. It's like, I thought we weren't supposed to trust demons.
Well, here's the thing. This is medieval stuff.
Yes.
All jokes aside, this is the Middle Ages.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you burn books, children.
This is what happens when you eat paste.
I'm talking to demons, but I'm the good guy.
This is what happens when you eat paste, watch Fox News, burn books, and study the Bible. This is what happens.
And chase skirt. And chase skirt.
And it's fundamentalism.
Uh-huh.
This is what the Taliban does. Anything else, you ban all other education, but religious education. All the ingredients are there.
Mm-hmm. Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
It's the trying to make the congregation not discerning, to think for themselves, trying to keep the preacher up on the pedestal.
I say find all the witches you can and see if they can solve the world's problems collectively. That's what you can.
I bet you they could.
Round them up and then let's see if we can do that. There you go.
I bet you they could. I bet you they could. So, okay, off to another stupid question that should be quite fun. The Lincoln statue that Donald Trump stole.
Oh, yeah. Where is the statue?
We saw the guy carry it out on moving day when they were packing the trucks up.
Well, I can remember Dave Johnson from Moonride, maybe 4 years ago, right at the very beginning of everything, right? And he got this vision of Trump, like, ripping up things and stuff, and he's saying, look, I think that's just metaphorical. I don't think he's going to slash the famous paintings and stuff, but he did see him taking stuff. That was back then. And if he's taken the statue, I doubt it's the only thing.
And he did rip up a lot of stuff.
And I do remember there was that article, or it was all over the news a couple of years ago, where he had sent one of his aides to a different country to go steal something. And they stole it because he liked it so much, but they stole a fake.
That would be right.
What was it?
From an embassy. It was from one of the embassies. I can't remember.
It was from one of the embassies. I forget what it was that he sent his aide to that country, to that embassy, to go steal this one thing that he saw that he liked so much, and it was a fake. I just
love it. Okay, so what's going to happen with the Lincoln statue?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I have no idea. It rests with a woman, 4 swords in the Empress. It either rests with a woman or in a country that is either named after a woman or has a woman on the money or the flag or the something like that. It's and not necessarily a country, it could be a state too, but there's a place, it either rests with a woman or it's in a place named after a woman. The Page of Cups and the Moon, I don't think finding it is, well, I won't say it's possible, not possible, but I don't think you're going to find it. I get the World and the Two of Pentacles. There's a constant imbalance, and it may even be on the move, but there's a constant imbalance about it too. So yeah, I don't think you're finding this.
He sold that sucker on eBay.
He may be trying to sell it to Putin. Yeah, it's being manipulated wherever it is, and it's probably getting damaged as we speak. It's a betrayal to our country. We're going to revisit this though, because there's a lot of people that are anxious about this. I get like, we're not done with this yet. We're going to have more illumination on it, and it's when they go to sell it. That's going to bring more investigations and judgment, and somebody's going to get caught. But I do agree it's on the move right now. But when they try to sell it, like there's a whistleblower on it or something. He's desperate for money. He's got to sell anything he can.
Why don't they even want it? He is definitely not typical day Republican. So why don't they even want such a thing?
He's the polar opposite of Lincoln.
Because it's worth money. It's not. He doesn't want it. He wants it for the money that he can get from selling it.
Johnny, you were right. Pat McBride says there was a picture on the internet of a woman carrying it out of the White House on his behalf, apparently. So that's.
She still got it then. Lena, what do you get?
Well, I'm mystified in many ways. Like, here he is, the arsonist that he is, like generally speaking, in the wolf's den. But this is the 10 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. But in this deck, they're very weird cards, right? How do I do this? Sorry, I can't show you these cards any better. I'll never work it out. But this is a tree full of bats, right? In other words, in the night and hidden. And this one is like breathing underwater. So it's like it's hidden, but it's going to have to come up for air. So strange, but that's what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Ona?
I got the same thing. I have it. It's like, well, the death. It's in a coffin or a sarcophagus. It's wrapped. And I have the Kings of the East. Jenny said it was on its way, right, Jen? It's on route somewhere. There's a statue, and it's being admired by. He gifted it. He pawned it for favor and service.
He's starting up a pawn shop.
And here's Melania's wedding ring. It's a bargain at $1,000.
Breast implants you can also
Oh, but her digital eyes they're selling are $250,000.
Trump's next
And
business
Barrett
venture
better
is
lock
gonna
up
be a
his
pawn
Lego
shop.
or it'll be gone.
A pawn shop with all the stuff he stole out of the White House. I'm sorry, Ona, I'll shut up now. What you got, girl?
Yeah, keep going.
So he bought it, and he's pretending like he doesn't know where, it is, because it's gone. Like
What was on the ground?
Yeah, like this is. Didn't he try to pay off a debt with a boxing glove or a signed basketball or something to
But you know
somebody at
what?
some
He
point?
wouldn't even know who Lincoln was.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He knows who Andrew Jackson is because somebody told him.
Yeah, he probably thinks Lincoln's the car and he doesn't know what everyone's talking about.
Lord Jesus. I can't. What'd you
Did you
get?
get Becca?
No, you're not going to get it back. There might be some sort of a fine or a bill or something. The money's going to be lost. Like the investment is lost. I don't know if they're going to charge him personally or what, but it's like a huge bill and there's some sort of a penalty, but you're not getting it back.
So I wonder if he thought, since I have to move out, that I can just, take some souvenirs. I want that. I want that. I want this. I want the whole house. And just.
Which is weird because when he first moved in, he was talking about how disgusting and tacky the White House was.
It's because it's not full of gold.
Oh, we might all be wrong. Someone says it was returned to a museum.
No.
When they're gifted stuff by like foreign leaders or whatever, anybody gifts them something, they have to donate it to the Smithsonian or somewhere. It's like they're not even allowed to take home personal gifts that are given to them.
Well, yeah, that's normal people, yes.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if he got to keep the orb. Remember the golden orb?
The golden toilets.
oh gosh, what a maroon, man. So, okay, I have a question. Tomorrow is going to be President's Day.
Mm.
How is our twice impeached, disgraced, broke ass, legal trouble, former president going to be spending? What's he going to be doing tomorrow?
I'm an Australian, so tell me what happens on President's Day normally.
It's a federal holiday.
Yeah, it's a national holiday.
Nothing really. There's President's Day sales, so go capitalism.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's just basically a federal holiday where you're supposed to recognize.
Like when I was growing up, we used to make cherry pies for President's Day because of George Washington and the cherry tree.
Oh my God, that's a patriotic family.
Yeah, bunch of narcissists that are Republican through and through.
Yes, there's a mattress sale, says Becca.
Sorry, what's the question, Becca?
What is he going to be doing tomorrow, Donald Trump?
What's the Yeti doing for President's Day?
Because mind you, there will be, I will say, there will be some outlets that will talk about the former presidents and things. And not that they're going to get together in the midst of a pandemic, but he is definitely not invited. Probably invited, but won't show. Well, it starts with the tower, so he's doing.
And mine ends in death, so we're doing well.
I think he's having a bit of a breakdown, actually. Because I get the moon, kind of the lunacy right above him, and this, and the Two of Pentacles. He's kind of off balance. There's something possibly hitting the news, or maybe something coming into his orbit that is really doing a number on him. And I say it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Yeah.
So he's going to be somewhere having a nervous breakdown. That's what I think.
You know, they probably will have sales on toilet paper, so.
I get he's drinking. he's looking for his kids. You know, he's like trying to manipulate his kids. Like, you know, he wants to throw them under the bus for all the legal issues that are going on, right? He's trying to wrap things up with the kids. He can't find them. He's out in the cold. He loses his kids. He's a loser. He loses everything. He's like, he's spending a little bit of time, I get, watching TV. He's watching a speech that Biden gives to America. So I don't know if Biden's talking tomorrow, probably about Ukraine or something. And I get he has a spat with Melania. She rejects him. What'd you get, Lena?
Well, I agree with Johnie. I think he's going to struggle with it. This is the moon card in this deck. And his moods are going to be really, really bad because it mentions the P word. He wouldn't know or care, I'm sure, all his life about President's Day, but you know what I mean? It's symbolic of what he isn't, you know. He's in grumpy solitude and alone, you know, because who'd want to be near him, right? Because this mood is really hard. He's just a clown at the end of the day. But here's the thing, it builds over the day. It builds up. And I think he blows a gasket by the end of the day when he sort of is forced to realise he can't just keep bullying people into his... He can't even bend people anymore. He's run out of yes people even, you know, with these court cases and stuff. There's no one left who can give him good news. So this is hugely symbolic emotionally for him.
It's bad. It's a bad day in Don Land. It's a bad day. I stopped at card 3 because this deck. So it's, you know, the beginning. We've got like, what? Bite-sized shaped food that he's getting fed, but honestly, that isolation, hoarding, counting his money, looking at his assets, and the last card is the river to hell. And in this deck, it's hard to see, but in this deck, it's the combination of the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Wands, the Death card, and the Devil. Like, they just condensed.
We'll just dedicate that card to him, Ona.
So tower, it seems like he's going to have a really, really bad day.
Well, he's certainly not going to be DJing at Mar-a-Lago.
Not listening to dance music then.
I would love to see that. He's over there DJing at Mar-a-Lago and slips and busts his ass, his big orange fat ass on the floor. That would be great.
Mar-a-Lago. I mean, I think he's going to do brilliant.
I get that there might be some sort of a written statement that he puts out that's manipulative, but it defends him and his commerce about the false records and manipulated records that shows an elevation, a rise, a gain to his commerce. Because there's something written here, mail, that he's manipulated. It's fraudulent about his commerce and then lying about something that was elevated or raised. So this probably has to do with the investigations and Mazars or something like that. He may also put out some sort of a written statement or something, or some sort of a report that the ballots were fraudulent, that he should be the president because this is jealousy, but it increases. So perhaps during President's Day tomorrow, when Biden's in the spotlight, you know what I mean? And just because to him it should be him, because I mean, the dumbass tried every trick in the book and he still lost. So you know what I mean? So yeah. So I mean, there's something here about
do some more recounts, because every time they do recounts, they find more votes for Biden. Yep. So I guess one last question.
Jen had a question. You want to end with hers?
I got one I took from chat earlier from Aang.
Okay, we'll do yours and then Johnny's.
Okay.
No, I didn't have one. I was saying Jen had one.
Yeah. Oh, Jen had one. Okay.
Yeah, okay, he lost Mazars, his accounting firm, right? Yep. So is Trump using TurboTax this year to do his taxes? Like, what's going on with his taxes?
It's true. Wouldn't it be hilarious if he doesn't file his taxes this year and gets fined?
He gets fined for not filing. What's going on with his taxes this year?
Well,
that's hilarious.
I'm wondering about that new firm that he found in Texas. You got to be an idiot
to pick him up.
Like, I mean,
no, accountants are like lawyers. There's a sliding scale, you know, from the best that money can buy to ambulance chasers, and it's the same with accountants.
TurboTax. I thought it was brilliant. I had to save it for the end. Hopefully Aang's still in here watching.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, there is 10 of Pentacles. He is talking with the big company here. Page, this is the Knight of Swords and the 10 of Wands. So there's someone struggling here, struggling a lot, because his financial information is not complete and it's all over.
No.
It's like trying to turn mud into clean water. It's not impossible because there's a machine out there that does it. But even if you got through all of the painstaking effort to turn the mud into clean water, do you still want to drink it? So there's something here that with the Sun and the Hangman, they can't make heads or tails. And you have to now flip the coin, decide whether you're going to be ethical or not, because there's something he's hiding. You know he's hiding it because it makes no sense to you as a person who deals with numbers. And so you're going to either make it make sense and ignore it, or you're going to say, this doesn't make sense, please go somewhere else. But he is good. It's not TurboTax, but whoever is handling it doesn't know exactly what to do. So moral dilemma, that's up to you.
I get like, he's going to try to act like he's financially secure, but he has no money, and the devil's doing his taxes.
Pretty much.
Secret, trying to stash away money, trying to figure out like how much to claim loss. I get he's erratic and drunk, so he's drunk filing.
What about you, Anna?
That there's companies that he's approaching, but they're walking away.
Yeah.
They're trying to find a place for them. They're walking away. And I get that there is a young company, like a startup or something. They're newer.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that will agree for a short time to take care of his thing, but then a Tower card comes up and he's just a very difficult client. So even if you agree, it'll just be like, forget it. Like, I can't do it. We're good.
And you'd have to deduct your fee before you click send, wouldn't you? Because otherwise
not worth it.
Money up front. What you get, Lena?
Oh, look, same story, isn't it? Really, judgment. Everyone in the world knows, this is a toxic job, right? Someone's asking somebody, so someone's been put on the phone to ring companies and they're going, no, I'm very sorry, we're busy, right? But some young thing will go, how hard can it be? I can make my name with this. There'll be someone who's as stupid as the Yeti who will take it on, but of course not have the skills, the false light. They won't actually, who could make head nor tail of it,
Mm-mm. Before you do Donald Trump taxes out there, go to JennLynnTarot.com and book your reading so you can get started. You're going down the wrong road. I'm just being judgmental and saying so. You might want some advice.
Well, I would love to do a reading with Trump, one-on-one with him. I would just eat it up.
Me too. Yeah. It's an ugly energy, but I am so curious as to what Spirit would say when you're connected directly and not like this.
He'd sit there on Skype like this the whole time.
The whole time.
Spirit would say, honey, don't waste my time, just right across the face.
I'd be like, you lost.
Oh, mercy.
So this is not what the cards are saying, but I'm being petty. I got house, garden, and crossroads. No, he's not going to TurboTax. He's going to H&R Block. Okay. House. Okay, your residence, a big outdoor area, and there's the crossroads, like the street. H&R Block, y'all, not TurboTax. H&R Block. That's just me being petty. No, that's really saying that he's got way too many properties and there's too much that needs to be done.
And he owes money on everything.
Yes.
Everything.
I would give Trump a free reading if he'd let me read for him.
I'd give him a free cursing. Spiritually. How about that?
Sorry, I have to race off and do some stuff. Look, I've had a great time. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you,
My
Lena.
favorite was the pastor with the witches. Oh, we've got to follow that story. That was gold. Okay.
No, it's pretty sad though, Lena. Don't laugh at us stupid Americans, but it's pretty sad.
I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Bye, Lena.
Bye, Lena.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait. And Ona, my dear Ona.
I was gonna I'm trying to forward that Donnie waiting in the waiting room at H&R Block. Did you forward it to Chase? Fucking hysterical.
So
this is like this. We'll give you $10 if you give us 10 minutes.
What is it? Lena always says Randy from marketing. Maybe Randy from accounting is going to do his taxes.
It's going to be Stewie from Stewie's hot dog stand in Texas. That's who's going to do his taxes.
in the tunnels.
One night, Stewie Rhodes is going to be digging graves now in Trump Cemetery.
At least he can connect them. That way they can be together forever. Yeah, because he does build tunnels.
So I wanted to thank Ona, dear sweet Ona, for coming on with us tonight. I apologize for the echoey and my StreamYard issue. I disappeared. It's just that goddamn Mercury retrograde. I don't care what anybody tells me, he's still acting up. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. My apologies for that. Thank you, Ona, for being here, and thank you to Lena for joining us. Next week we will be on Johnny's channel.
Let me say too, also, next week on Friday, we will be on Tony's channel with our non-political live stream, I believe. Saturday next week, we will be on Sienna's channel for her Weird Question stream. And then Sunday will be on my channel. So just be on the lookout for all that if you're interested. I won't say times and dates because I don't know. Just be on the lookout for all that.
I was on earlier today on Jenny Roberts' channel just doing a chit chat. So anybody that missed it, you can find the video and go watch it later.
For her alchemic, I can't say that word, alchemic wisdom That's not
Yeah.
how you say that, but yes, go for it.
Go watch that. And then go watch Ona's every day, her early morning potty break predictions. Those are fun. They're very short videos, so you don't have to worry about sitting there for an hour or two like mine. They're lots of fun. And again, thank you, everybody. I apologize for the technical issues today. And thank you to the moderators and everybody that super chatted. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Scotty for marketing, not Rena.
Scotty from Marketing.